Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today I'm going to review the process I go through in diagnosing my shop vac. I have two of these shop vacs and I have worked on this one before. I'm going to show you how we actually diagnose the problem. But I would say generally most of these shop vacs are all quite similar. Not exactly like what I'm going to show you. They are quite similar. Okay. So I'm down to my last screw here, and the first thing that I do is, hear that? I got it plugged in, doesn't work. First thing I check, the switch. If you don't hear no clicking, well, more than likely the switch is gone. I'm not suspecting a switch. Let's dig into this and let's see what's really going on. Okay, so we'll take the last screw out here. This comes off, put this back in the same way it came. Now we're down to the motor part. This is just 3 tabs, just pull out. They may be screws on yours, it could be all different. And we have this here. Here's the motor right here. Just grab it and pull it out. Kind of wiggle it out of there. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip it over on its side. I'll get you a close-up shot and we'll start diagnosing. Okay, I got you zoomed in there pretty good. Now, I have worked on this before, like I said, so I'm just taking this out. And this is the prize right here. This right here. This is your fuse. It's a thermal fuse, and it actually goes off or disconnects at a certain temperature, and all we have to do now is just test it. So let's get the meter out and just test it. Okay, so as you can see, if I just touch the two leads together, it's going to show a reading. So if we just go from one side to the other, there's nothing. So it is open inside. We have to replace this. You take a look at that. Does that look like it's so easy to replace for you? Well, I'm going to show you how I do it, and maybe you could use this idea too. The first thing we have to do is get one of these. So you can look on it and you will see the numbers on it when you take it out. But if we come over to my box here, yeah, I've got quite a few. No, that's not it. There we go there. Thermal fuses, and that's them right there. So I'm going to show you how I install one of these. Maybe you could use this tip yourself. So let's get started. First thing you have to do, don't assume these are any good. So let's test one. Okay, so let's just test it. There we go. The last thing you want to do is put one of these in and find out, well, it's open. So it's best just to test. Okay, I'll bring you back when that is installed, and I'm going to show you exactly the easiest way that I found how to install one of these. Okay, so as you can see, I cut the old one out. This is the new one that's going to go in. I bent the terminals around, and all this is here is a little small piece of 14 gauge copper house wiring, solid house wiring. I just flattened it down with the hammer. I'll bring you back and I'll show you how this goes in here so easily. So there's the setup right there, and of course you have to use a knife and scrape all the varnish that's on the outside of the conductors of both ends. You just fold that copper piece, that sleeve that you made over, and you just use these tools here and pinch it in there and then solder it. So I'll bring you back and I'll show you what it looks like. Well, there it is right there. And it's almost impossible to get you in there and show you me soldering it. But all I did was just cut the ends off here. Now I'm going to put this wire loom over top to protect it from one end all the way to the other. And then I'll bring it back and let's see if she starts up. Okay, you ready? Let's turn it on. So you know how much that fix was? About 25 cents. So I mean, these little thermal fuses are not expensive at all. I bought them in a pack of 10 you know, like for like $3. It was around $3 at the time. So I mean, I've got lots last me for a while. And if you're wondering, okay, so I got them two copper clips on either end, and they're soldered in there good now. So if I have to replace this again, obviously I can't go further up the line, right? I cut it right at the thermal fuse itself, attach the next one onto there. Now, I do find that a lot of times people will throw their shop vac out because, you know, click, 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 nothing happens. I got no time for this. Out it goes to the garbage, right? When in reality, you know, for under $1, you can fix it yourself. And the reason why these do blow is if you have your hose plugged up a bit and it's really struggling, or if your filter inside is completely plugged, well, the motor is building up heat. And when it builds up so much heat, that's what the thermal fuse is for. It's not resettable. Once it gets to a certain temperature, boom, it opens up and you have to replace it. So the best thing to do is don't run it with a dirty filter forever or a half-plugged hose. So thanks for joining me here today. I think everybody can do this fix. And, you know, it's one of these do-it-yourself ideas where you can save yourself a fortune from going around buying shop vacs all the time. So thanks for joining me here today. If you haven't seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe. Come back again, and let's have some more fun. Cheers.